Welcome back to the channel and welcome to episode 14. Today we're going to discuss a product that's going to make life a little easier on your back when you travel.
Great. You know, that sounds good. My back often hurts when I travel, so I'm very curious. What do we have on deck for today? We got like a neck pillow, maybe a back brace, one of those massagers. You know what works for me is I really like this stuff. Oh yeah. I got this liniment gel. I think it's actually made for horses though.
Actually none of those things, Keith. Today we're going to look at the Peter McKinnon X Nomatic Travel/Camera Backpack System.
Oh, well, clearly I didn't see that one coming. But how does that help my back when I travel?
It's not, Keith. It's going to help my back because my camera gear is going in it. As well, this is going to work great for the type of expeditions that I do, typically 1 to 3 days, where I can pack fairly light.
So let me get this straight. You got a backpack that allows you to carry all your camera gear, all your accessories, and clothing for a short trip. And you didn't get me one.
When you say it like that, it sounds kind of bad, but yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying.
And why exactly is that again? Was it the money?
Well, Keith, you know money's no object because I have none. Well, in all seriousness, this isn't a cheap backpack system. This is a serious piece of luggage, and like most good luggage, it isn't inexpensive. And quite frankly, Keith, you tend to favor traveling much lighter. Look back at episode 8 and compare camera bags. You had the small sling and I had the full backpack.
Well, that is true. I do tend to take a minimalist attitude to those types of things. I am, however, quite intrigued by this travel backpack system.
Yeah, there's actually a couple features that I think would really appeal to you. It has a small camera pack that converts into a small day trip backpack. Along with specialized storage accessories, it really makes organizing your gear easy.
Well, I do love me some organization, that is for sure. So why don't we cut over to the unboxing and take a look at this bad boy?
Perfect. Let's jump in and I can share some initial thoughts. So here is the Peter McKinnon Travel/Camera Backpack. And this is really a camera/travel system, right? The entire kit has everything that you could ever want to organize your camera gear, the accessories that you would use to go and travel for a 1 to 3, maybe even longer trip where you want to bring your camera gear, your drone, GoPro, whatever it is, and all the accessories and keep that completely organized. And really, you know, probably is geared towards professionals that are doing those types of things, but also enthusiasts, right? So for myself, I'm not a professional photographer or videographer, but I do like to travel for my daughter's volleyball, take photo and video there. As well, I've got a daughter that performs in marching band as a color guard member, as well as in show choir. And I like to have all of my lenses, my gear, everything that I would possibly need to capture those moments the best I can with me, and this helps accomplish that. And one of the things that gets kind of annoying for me is obviously as we're gearing up for one of these trips, whether it be for a volleyball tournament that's out of town or color guard performance that's quite a ways, I want to make sure that I have the minimum amount of space consumed with that stuff as possible. And especially the ones that travel and it's overnight travel, getting it down so that I don't necessarily need a roller bag and my camera bag and the cooler and all of those different things. If I can get it so that my gear fits in just one bag, and that bag I can bring all of my clothing, everything like that, the toiletries, unpack that part, and then bring the bag, or as you'll see, there's actually a surprise element in here, right? One of the elements, the camera pack turns into a day backpack if that's how you want to use it. Otherwise, you can take the clothing out, unpack it, put it in your hotel room, and then go take the rest of the camera bag and the accessories in the system, in this bag, and it's not much larger than a traditional backpack, right? So it's larger than Keith's sling that he likes to use, but it's not unreasonable. So here's the packaging. The packaging screams Peter McKinnon, you know, all over it. It's got his skull, as I showed you. It's got the Peter McKinnon and Nomatic on the side, so you know right away what it is. And so let's go ahead then and cut into this, get this opened up, and take a look at all that you get for the accessories and such. So let's get this going along here. And obviously you're going to want to use some care because you don't want to, you know, damage, cut too far in. So I'm not using the knife extended very far. And so we got our packing slip here. We'll just put that aside. And as we open this up here, okay, so I flipped the flap down there because it was blocking me. This is the packing cube. So this is an extra item that was available as an option. So it's the compression cube. Again, my goal is to get it where I can get one bag, no roller bag, for those 1 to 3 day trips, right? So if I can do that, that's a win for me. So I got the compression packing cube so I can take my clothing and shrink it down to the minimum amount of space. And this bag has actually got space for clothing to be separated from your camera gear. So let's go ahead and get this out of the way. We'll take a look at this in just a minute. And obviously we see right off the bat, we've got the Peter McKinnon Fly the Flag, right? The skull and crossbones. And there's a lot of reflection I can see on the overhead camera, so I apologize for that. But let's go ahead and get this out of the box. And let's get this box put aside here. So here is the packaging, and this is actually in its own right a super nice packing bag. I mean, this is probably something you don't toss. You can't feel this, but it's actually super nice Ziploc bag, and it is a Ziploc. So you could actually use this to store it. If you had to store your bag for an extended period of time, you could put it back in here and keep it from getting exposed to dust. So right off the bat, let's talk about the materials. So the materials feel super nice, right? It's a lot of tactile feel to it. This badge, it's metal. We have nice zip ties, easy to grab. Looks like these are going to hold up pretty well. And taking a look around the bag, this bag is substantial, right? So it's good size. It's got some heft to it, some weight, which, you know, that's probably a good thing. It's been designed to help carry that weight and load. So if you look at the backpack straps, the way they've got this designed is really, you know, the padding on these straps, if you can see that from above, this is super nice. Let's go ahead and maybe zoom in a little bit on that. So you can see there's a lot of padding here. It's been designed also to be adjustable, so you can adjust from the top here. Adjust these straps and change how that is positioning the load. We've also got a carrying strap here. So that carrying strap is going to allow you to grab this, pick it up by it. And depending on your style and whether you'd want to use it or not, it's actually got waistbands, but this waistband can actually be removed from the bag, which I suspect a lot of people will do. But if you are in the field carrying a lot of weight, that might be something that you want in order to distribute and hold that weight properly in one place. So let's take a look around the bag. We have several pouches and entry into the bag itself. So this zip is going to get you into the camera section, and we haven't opened up the main section here, but you can see we've got the opening. So if you want to have your camera accessible from the side, if that's the way you like to grab your camera, you can do so. Some people prefer to flip open the main section of the bag and lay it flat. You've got a storage flap here, so you can open this up, and you've got some nice storage. It goes about halfway down the bag, maybe a little bit less. And then you've got a bungee here. You could hook keys on there and that, so if you want to take your keys out of your pocket, put them in the bungee, you can do that. So nice storage pouch here. Zip that back up. Let's go ahead and open up this first set of zippers. And they do come all the way around to the bottom of the bag. And you flip that up. Okay, so let's zoom out a little bit here. Take a quick look at the clothing. So you do have the bungee to hold clothing down. You've got lots of storage. So these are somewhat translucent, so you can actually see through that quite a bit, so you can see what you've stored in there. And then in the top part, we've got all sorts of zipper pouches, right? So you can store what you want in there, keep it in place. We have a zipper pouch up here for the main one, and then it's actually got a sub pouch, so you can actually have this main area here is completely open, but then each of these zippers actually has a section for storing more stuff, right? So if you want to separate out socks and underwear and all of those types of things. And this really is where our compression pack is going to come in, right? So here is the compression pack. And what it's designed to do is help you take, sorry about that, that is super, super loud. And this is designed to allow you to put some of your clothing in here. So we've got this part opens up. We can put all sorts of things in there. And then get this to basically store in that section here underneath. And this is called our medium cube or compression cube. So on the compression cube, we can, if we need more space, we can unzip this zipper, and this is going to allow this cube to expand and give us more room, right? So this is the idea. We can put our clothes in here, get it exactly the way we want it packed. If we don't need so much space, we can zip this back up, make it a little bit thinner, and then once this has got clothing and everything in it, we can store that clothing in this area, keep it safe and in place. So let's go ahead here and take a look. We've got the full area here. All right, so here's all of our accessories that came with this particular bundle, and this is a bundle, so not every camera bag is going to come with all of these things. So depending on how you order this bag, if you go end up doing that, it's going to have different features or different accessories that come with it. I loaded it up just because I wanted the full organization system in terms of all of these different containers that hold the various elements. So let's start with the rain cover. So this is the rain cover. This folds up nicely into just a small piece, and it is going to help you give you more rain protection for the bag. The bag is water resistant, okay, it's not waterproof. So if you get yourself into a situation where the rain is coming down extremely hard, you may want to crack open your rain cover to give you additional rain protection. So let's go ahead and put that aside. We've also got some storage organizers here. All right, so we have our battery case here, and really this is a pretty slick system. What he designed this to do is allow you to put your batteries in, and I actually happen to have a Canon battery nearby, and there are some stickers that are included in this kit. Okay, so the idea would be the red skull and crossbone sticker would go on one end of your battery. And so the idea would be that when your battery is fresh and charged, it would go in like this. And then when you had discharged the battery, you would be able to flip that over and have this red sticker on it. And when you look in your kit, you would see that any battery that's flipped over and has the red sticker on it is one that is dead, and you would go to one of your other batteries in this storage case. So this gives you the ability to organize your batteries. It stores nicely in the bag anywhere that you want to store it, because these compartments do move around, so you can change where these dividers are in order to manage it based on the gear that you have in your particular kit. So that is the battery storage device. I'm going to go ahead then and put this back together and slide that back in here. Here is our memory card holder, and this is designed for really all the cards that are out there on the market: SD card, CFast, CF Express. And so you can see you can flip through. So they've got a little cardboard sheet in here that says push with your thumb or right, slide the card up, and then you can remove that SD card. We've got larger card media storage containers here, and then they designed this pouch to hold your micro SD cards, right? Because those are tiny, tiny, tiny cards. About the only way that I've really organized those without a pouch like this is to put them into either the plastic containers for the larger SD cards or into an SD converter for the micro SD, and then store them in SD card slots in a system like this. And then this particular device is magnetic, so you can probably hear that closing. Here. So that magnetic holder keeps this closed. So that tucks nicely into here. Now we've got a accessory case. So you could put something like maybe your GoPro in here, you know, any of your other little accessories. Maybe you've got a tiny little mobile tripod that you'd want to have, but basically all the stuff that normally bounces around in your bag loose, right? All of those things that you need to organize can go into this particular case. And this even has the movable dividers, so depending on what it is that you want to put in this particular accessory case, you can move that around. And you may be able to tell this is a hard shell, right? So this gives us the ability to protect that equipment that's in here. And it even has a little handy dandy little carrying handle on it. So we'll put this back into here. Okay, our next item here is the filter case, as you can see from the identification tag. And what this is designed to do is allow you to take all of your filters, whether they be ND filters or other types of filters that are glass, store them in this specially designed hard shell case, and protect all of those, give you quick, easy access. And again, you can see through this, so if there's lettering in that on those particular ones, you can see it. It gives you a little more storage up here as well. And you can zip this up, and again, it's protected, so those glass items are not exposed to getting bumped around and possibly broken. They're also not floating around loose in your bag someplace. Even in those plastic containers, gives you the ability to organize those a little bit better. And the way the kit shipped from the factory was in this nice little divider. So let's talk about the big dog here. This is the cube pack. All right, so this is designed to hold maybe a second camera, other camera gear. Maybe you want to put your camera in here by default, and this is just where you're going to keep your main camera. This would not hold a huge camera, right? So depending on your size of your camera, you may or may not be able to fit it into the cube pack. But when we open it up here, we've got some dividers that we can move around again. All of them are adjustable. The case itself is padded. It has some rigidity to it, and there is padding up here. So one of the big claims to fame for this particular pack is you can put in your accessories, your camera gear in here. Let's say that you opened up, changed these dividers around. Maybe you have a mirrorless camera that's on the smaller side. Zip this up. Allows you to store that camera in this area with some extra protection. But here is the real trick with this. This particular bag, this top section where the zipper is, opens up, and this becomes, let's zoom out a little bit here. This becomes its own standalone backpack. And so you can actually take this on a day trip. It's got its own straps that you can connect. They just fold back up into the bag when you want to collapse it. But all of this can then be rolled together pretty quickly, right? I didn't do that the nicest in the world, but it still collapses down pretty easily. And you just zip this back up, and after you've been on a day trip, you can throw this back into the zip mode. Oops, I got the zipper a little caught here. There we go. And we can then put this cube pack back in our backpack and store it, and we're ready to go. So let's talk about some of the organization pockets that are available up here. So we have more zip and see-through storage containers here. Again, the idea is that you can take all of your gear and have a place for it, and it's all being held in place. You have a flap here, and this reaches all the way down to 3/4 of the way into the bag. So this you may be able to see goes down there quite a ways, and that gives you a lot of storage space that you can work with. And again, this has a Velcro flap to keep everything that's in there from going anywhere. Now, while we're talking about this and having a place for everything, this unzips and you've got a laptop storage container. And there is some padding on the back of the bag here. So this padding protects your laptop as well as protects you. And can't see it very well here, but if you do have a roller bag, so you're taking a longer trip and you need to have some additional storage, and you have a roller bag, this will actually connect up to your roller bag, so you can keep all of your gear on a single roller. And then this is our laptop flap. It's going to hold 16-inch laptop. And I know that this storage area here, we talked about this deep pouch here. I know one of the things that is really maybe geared towards is a tablet. So if you have a laptop and a tablet, for example, you can put the tablet in this section, keep that safe, and there's some nice padding around it. And that also then is going to give you the ability to really carry a lot of gear for processing the work that you've done out in the field. So if you're traveling for several days and maybe you're doing vlogging, for example, or you just want to send some video out for home, or you're going to do some video production out there in the field, you can bring lots of equipment with you for doing that and carry it right in this one bag. Let's talk about grabbing this bag. Obviously you have the backpack shoulder straps, but you also have a very substantial padded handle on the top of the bag. You can see this. So this is the handle for grabbing that. You also have a grab strap down here that you could use. That might be good for hanging it on a hook. So one thing we didn't talk about in the front flap is inside is actually a magnetic piece. You can hear that snap. So this is designed that you could put, say, your passport or your license or something like that. Maybe if you're going through security, for example, you could grab your cell phone, throw it in there. So really lots of things that you could do with that, along with the main part of the pouch and your bungee. You can put your keys on there. You can put your license or your passport into this area. So really gives you some nice, quick, accessible from the outside storage space. And then really this bag is designed to be really difficult for someone to just walk behind you and take anything from you from the bag. And I know that's a consideration these days, depending on where you go. On this side, we have the combination water bottle / tripod holder. So you can see this opens up and you can get a water bottle in there. When you don't have a water bottle in it, it actually magnetic snaps into place, and that's going to give you a nice clean look when you don't have a water bottle in it. But if you do have a water bottle, then you can open it up, slide that in there, put the tripod. There's also straps that will hook up here in order to contain your tripod if it is being used for the tripod. So that's my really quick walkthrough of the Peter McKinnon Nomatic camera / travel backpack. Really multifunction piece of gear, and premium construction materials, and just looks like a super nice piece of equipment to use. And I look forward to circling back and giving you some of my thoughts after I've had a chance to use this further in the field. So this has been the unboxing and initial thoughts, and we'll finish up back with Keith and Bruce to discuss more about it. And down the road we'll have a further discussion about how this is in the field used for, say, a volleyball trip, if one of those happens, since there is, obviously an event going on as I'm filming this that is keeping us from going to volleyball or any other event with a large number of people. Hopefully that clears up here, and we're going to be able to get out and use this for its intended purposes. So we'll get back to that when we're able to.
Okay, well, my first reaction to that, I must say, is wow. There really are a ton of pockets and extra organizational elements to that travel kit. And by the way, it's safe to say that is not just a bag, that really is a travel kit.
Same here, Keith. I really like that it's fairly modular and allows you to customize the space to meet your specific needs. I'm really liking the fact that not only does it have copious amounts of pockets, but there are specialized storage containers that allow you to take them out of the backpack and bring them closer to where the action is.
Well, all I can say is I'm really looking forward to you putting this bag through its paces.
I'm really looking forward to whenever we can make that happen. At the time of this recording, we're not able to travel, and that would be something I would be doing in order to put this bag through its paces. As a matter of fact, we're supposed to be at a volleyball tournament this very weekend.
Well, it is what it is. Good news is it'll be a true long-term test.
Absolutely. So my initial thoughts are this is a really high quality camera bag and travel system. You can tell that lots of thought went into how to make this bag very functional, and although larger than a typical camera backpack, is not so much larger that it's impractical. And of course that larger size gives us a lot more room to store and organize our gear.
Yeah, so for Bruce and myself, we certainly hope that you're all, staying safe, staying healthy, and staying connected, during these challenging times that we're all facing. For our part, we're going to continue to release content as we go, and hopefully that will help you all take your mind off things, at least for a little while.
For sure, Keith. And if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, hit that subscribe if you haven't already, and ring that bell to get notified of when we release new content.
And you'll see us both next time for another episode of Dad's Talk Tech.